is the species is a special venous connection between the liver and intestine is true. Statement A is correct. Next, B. There are 12 pairs of cranial nerves rising from the brain. They given it should be 10 cranial nerves. Next, the ureters and oviduct open separately into the cloaca in female frogs. That is true. Next, hindbrain consisting of cerebellum, medulla oblongata, and optic lobes they given. So the answer is sinus venosus joins the right atrium of the heart. That means ACE is the right answer. Third option, ACE are the right statements regarding the frog. Next, the flightless bird with four limbs modified as paddle-like structures suited for swimming is known as aptenoids. That is penguin. First option. Next, 138. Male frogs can be distinguished from the female frogs due to the presence of only vocal sacs as well as copulatory pad on the first digit of forelimbs. B and D are the right answers. Next, that means first option is the right answer. Question number 139. A group of researchers procured some fish-like animals and upon investigation, the following characters were observed. A. Endoskeleton is made of cartilage. Endoskeleton is made of cartilage. That is true. Next, ectoparasitic, they were found attached on the fish skin and their circular sucking mouth. That is true. That means it is, we all know that cyclostomata. So answer is Petromyzon species, first option. Next, question number 140. Diffusion, okay, arrange these steps in the correct order. Breathing and exchange of the gases. The first step should be pulmonary ventilation. Second step is external respiration. That means oxygen, carbon dioxide diffusion across alveolar membrane. Next, third step will be transport of gases by the blood, and fourth step is internal respiration. That means diffusion of oxygen and carbon dioxide between the blood and tissues, and last step will be cellular respiration. So CBEAD. CBEAD. Third option will be the answer. Next, question number 141. Non-membrane bound cell organelle found in both prokaryote and eukaryote is the only answer is ribosomes. Fourth option. Ribosomes, fourth option. Next, question number 142. Choose the correct statement regarding gift. What is gift? Gamete intrafallopian transfer, right? So, it is a transfer of an ovum collected from a donor into the fallopian tube of another female who cannot produce the ovum but can provide suitable environment for fertilization and development. That is the answer. So, third option. Next, question number 143. Choose the correct statements regarding muscle contraction. Statement A. A motor neuron carries a signal sent CNS to the sarcolemma. That is true. Next, the neural signal generates an action potential which causes the release of calcium into sarcoplasm. That is also true. Next, increase in calcium inactivates the actin for breaking cross bridges. That is not correct actually technically. Next, actin binds to the myosin head to form a cross bridge. That is correct. Next, shortening of sarcomere takes place during contraction. That is also correct. That means A, B, D, E statements are correct. So second option is the right answer. Next, 144. Insertion of foreign DNA at BAM-H1 site, BAM-H1 site. That means the restriction enzyme, that is restriction site located towards the tetracycline resistance gene. So the tetracycline resistance will be compromised, and that antibiotic resistance is going to be compromised. That means it will be lost. So answer is B, tetracycline. Next, 145. The specific receptors for neurotransmitters in a synapse are present on. So post-synaptic membrane. They are present on postsynaptic membrane. Next, 146. Which of the following statements are correct with respect to human endoskeleton? Human skull is monochondrialic. It is not correct. The joint between any two adjoining vertebrae is a cartilaginous joint. That is true. Next, C. In human beings, the number of cervical vertebrae is 7. That is also true. Next, all ribs except the last two pairs are bicephalic. They given. Actually, they are also bicephalic only. Next, the occipital lobe of skull is articulated with the atlas vertebrae. That is true. That means only B statement, C statement, E statement will be the right combination. So first option is the answer. Next, 147. The human protein named alpha-1 antitrypsin is obtained from the transgenic animals, is used for the treatment of the emphysema. So second option. Next, 148. Select the incorrect statement with respect to RH blood grouping. Statement A. Erythroblastosis fetalis is a condition observed during having a fetus with RH negative and Rh negative blood and mother with Rh positive blood. Fetus Rh negative, mother Rh positive, it is not the condition. That is wrong. Next, B. Rh antigen is observed on RBCs in the majority of human beings. That is true. Next statement, C. Before blood transfusion, Rh group should also be matched. True. D. Rh incompatibility is observed when a pregnant mother is Rh negative and fetus is Rh positive. That is true. Erythroblastosis fetalis can be avoided by administering anti-Rh antibodies to the mother immediately after the delivery of the second child they given. No, it should be after first child. So only B, C, D. That means B, C, D are correct. So A and E only incorrect. So option 3. Next question number 149. Nicotine. It stimulates the adrenal gland to release catecholamines. Morphine. It is effective sedative and painkiller. Heroin. Depressants slow down the body functioning. Next, cocaine. It is euphoric. Okay. Next. Question number 150. Tetany. Tetany is due to wild contractions in muscle due to low calcium levels in body fluid, and arthritis, inflammation of joints, and myasthenia gravis, autoimmune disorder, and muscular dystrophy, progressive degeneration of the skeletal muscle. So the answer is second option. Next, progestasert is a hormone releasing IUD, and multiload 375 is a copper releasing IUD, and diaphragm is barrier method, and Sahel is oral contraceptive. So the answer is third option. So very simple. All the questions are very easy. Next. 152. Select the correct statements regarding cell membrane in eukaryotic cell. Membrane of human RBC has approximately 52% proteins. It's true. Major phospholipids are arranged in a bilayer. True. Extensions of plasma membrane into the cell form mesosome. That is in prokaryotes, not eukaryotes. Next, B. Tails towards the inner part of lipids are hydrophobic in nature. That projected from aqueous medium. That is true. That means A, B, D are true. Okay, that means fourth option. 153. Choose the correct statements regarding cell organelles and their functions. Statement A. The endomembrane system will include Golgi complex, so say okay. Endoplasmic reticulum is okay, but not the mitochondria. So statement A is wrong. B. Rough endoplasmic reticulum bears ribosomes on its surface. True. Next, both mitochondria and plastids have circular DNA. Okay. Next, a network of microtubules, microfilaments, and intermediate filaments present in the cytoplasm is called cytoskeleton. True. So B, C, D are true. E is wrong. Next, question number 154. The fetus movement starts and hair appears on the head at 20th week, 20 weeks of pregnancy. Next, the fetus develops limbs and digits 8 weeks of pregnancy. The fetus develops external genital organs 24 weeks of pregnancy. The fetus body is covered with fine hair, eyelids separate, and eyelashes are formed 20 weeks of pregnancy. So the answer is third option A2, B3, C4, D1. Third option is the answer. Question paper booklet number 14 I am discussing. You can find it. Next, question number 155. Which one of the following is an appropriate example for sexual deceit? Sexual deceit is shown by Ophrys. It's a Mediterranean orchid. One of its petal will be resembling the female bee, bumblebee, and that will pseudocopulates with it. So the answer is third option. 156. Which set of fishes which belongs to the class Ostrictis? Flying fish, Exocetus, angelfish, Pterophyllum, fighting fish, beta. So third option is the answer. Next question number 157. About 65 million years ago, dinosaurs suddenly disappeared from the earth. So A2. Next, that means first option A2, B4. About 500 million years ago, invertebrates were formed and become active. C1. About 350 million years ago, jawless fishes probably evolved. Next, D3. That means about 320 million years ago, seaweeds and few plants probably existed. So option 1 is right answer. Next, 158. In which animal do haploid cells divide mitotically to produce gametes? So male honeybees, it's obviously same kind of question we got previously in the same paper. Based on honeybee sex determination only, we got 2 to 3 questions. Next, 159. The WBC count of a person's blood sample is 8,000 per cubic millimeter. How many eosinophils and lymphocytes are very simple. Lymphocytes will be 20 to 25% of the WBC, and whereas eosinophils will be 3 to 5% only. So very less. That means the answer is 160 to 240 is a eosinophil number. 1600 to 2000 will be the lymphocyte number. So the fourth option is the answer. Next, question number 160. What is the probability of having children with O blood group where mother and father are heterozygous for A and B? So when both the parents are heterozygous, for example, IAI, IBI, Father is I, imagine. Capital A and small I, and mother is capital IA and small I. So when both are heterozygous, then obviously 25% of the children will be having O blood group. So probability is option 4, 25%. Arrange the following events occurring in renin-angiotensin mechanism in the correct order. Okay. So arrange the following steps in the correct order. This kind of questions we got 5 to 6 questions. Arrange the following in order kind of questions. 6 questions almost all we got. So the first step is fall in the GFR. That is first thing. Next, second step, renin converts angiotensin into angiotensin 1 and angiotensin 2. That means CE. Next is vasoconstriction. After that, B, reabsorption of sodium and water from the distal parts. And finally, increase in the blood pressure and glomerular filtrate rate. That means CEDBA. First option will be the answer. Next, question number 162. Choose the correct statements regarding population interactions between two species. Okay, statement A. In both parasitism and commensalism, only one species benefits and the other species is harmed. Parasitism, one species is harmed, okay, but commensalism, the other species is not harmed. So, statement is incorrect. B. Both species benefit in mutualism, that is true. C. Both species benefit in commensalism, it's not correct. Only one will be getting benefited, the other one will be zero, no effect. Next one. In parasitism, only one species benefits and the other one is harmed. That is correct. Next one. In amensalism, one species is harmed and the other is unaffected. So only B, D, E are correct. That means second option is the right answer. Question paper booklet 14. 162, second option. Next, 163. Spermatogonia undergo series of cell divisions to produce sperm. Select the correct statements from the following. Spermatogonia always undergo meiotic cell division. Spermatogonia, remember, spermatogonia will never undergo meiotic division. It will undergo equational mitosis to produce primary spermatocytes. B. Primary spermatocytes divide mitotically to produce secondary spermatocyte. Wrong. Primary spermatocyte undergoes meiosis 1 to produce secondary spermatocytes. C. Secondary spermatocytes through their second meiotic division produce haploid spermatids. That is true. Okay. Next, D. Spermatids produces spermatozoa through mitosis. That is not correct. Spermatids transform into spermatozoa by spermiogenesis. That is correct. So only C and E right answers. Next, 164. The following are the stages of life cycle of Plasmodium. Arrange the stages in the proper order. First step is female mosquito insect injects sporozoites into the human body during bite. That is the first step. Second, sporozoites will reach the liver through the blood. That is correct. Next, second step. Third step will be the parasite will reproduce asexually in the liver cells and bursting out of the cells and releasing into blood. Again, the next step is the parasites will enter RBC and they will reproduce asexually inside the RBC and coming out of the RBC. Last step will be gametocytes will be developing in the RBC. So the sequence is EDBAC, the first statement, first option is the right answer, EDBAC. Next, question number 165. Streptokinase is a clot buster. So 2, A is 2. Next, statins, blood cholesterol lowering agent, B3. Lipase used in detergent formulations. So C4. Next T, cyclosporine A is immunosuppressive agent. That means A2, B3, C4, D1. So third option is the right answer. 166. Which of the following is not an example of convergent evolution? Wings of butterfly and bird, convergent evolution. Flippers of penguin and dolphin, convergent evolution. Forelimbs of whales and bats, divergent evolution. Eyes of octopus and mammals, convergent evolution. So the answer is 3, third option. Next, 167. What is the reason behind production of large holes in Swiss cheese? This is obviously what production of large amount of CO2 by Propionibacterium shermani. Okay. Yeah, that is the answer. Next, fourth option. 167, fourth option. Next, 168. Cortisol. Okay, massive following. Massive following questions also so many they asked. This time, assertion reason questions are not even asked. No assertion reason questions. I hope you observed. Whoever attempted the examination, they can observe. Assertion reason questions only not there. I couldn't find any questions like that. Assertion reason questions. This time they omitted assertion reason type of questions. Instead, they are asking which of the following is the correct order. Then mass of following, which of the following is true statement related to some particular concept like that. These kind of questions are asked. Assertion reason questions, one also not asked. Okay, next question number 168, cortisol produces anti-inflammatory. Aldosterone stimulates reabsorption of sodium and water from renal tubule. Cholecystokinin stimulates secretion of pancreatic enzymes and bile juice, as well as progesterone is for the formation of alveoli in mammary gland. So that means A2, B3, C4 and D1. That means fourth option is the right answer. Next question. Arrange the following cell layer structures around the female gamete from the outer to inner. Very simple. Inner to outer, I'll tell you first. Plasma membrane, first ooplasm, plasma membrane, vitelline membrane, zona pellucida, corona radiata. So PVZC. So ZVP. That means the answer is CABD, second option. Second option is the right answer. Next, question number 170, direct question. The logistic population growth equation dn by dt is equal to Rn into k minus n by k. That is the answer. Second option. Next, 171. The toxin proteins isolated from Bacillus thuringiensis coded by which of the following genes would control cotton bollworms and corn borer respectively? Very simple. We have to remember like this. Cry, cry, cry. 121. A. Next, CBB. So, cry 1AC, that is corn borer, and cry 1AB, the last one, cry 1AB will be the cry 1AB will be the corn borer, and cry 1AC will be the cotton bollworms. So next, question number 172, that means first option. 172, JGA is a special sensitive region formed by the cellular modifications in DCT and afferent arteriole. Fourth option, direct question. Next, 173 also match the following question. Mollusca branchial respiration, reptiles pulmonary respiration, adult amphibians pulmonary and cutaneous, and amoeba cellular respiration. So the answer is fourth option is the right answer. Next, 174. The sixth mutant codon of beta globin gene causing polymerization of hemoglobin and change in RBC shape. We all know that the six right amino acids are there, like valine, histidine, and leucine, threonine, proline, glutamic acid. The sixth position glutamic acid is replaced by valine. So GAG is by GUG. So the answer is second option. Next, question number 175. In a population of grasshopper means insects, okay? Some members is 23 and some other members are possess 24. The 23 and 24 belongs to whom? 23 belongs to males, 24 belongs to females. Why? Because in the males, monogametic condition is there, XO condition in male insects. In female insects, XX condition, XX. So 24 will be in the females, 23 will be in the males. Next, select the incorrect statement from the following. Digestive system in platyhelminths is incomplete is true. Bilateral symmetry is a characteristic feature of adult echinoderms. No. Okay, because second phylum, third phylum, 9 adults will be executing radial symmetry, not the bilateral symmetry. Adults of echinodermata. Next, pseudocoelom is possessed by askelmin. That is true. So A and C correct statements. Next, D. Notochord is persistent throughout life in the Chondrichthyes class. That is true. So A, C, D true. Next, E. Members of class Reptilia maintain constant body temperature. Constant body temperature. That is not correct. That means A, C, D. Okay, A, C. That's it. Okay, ACD are true statements. They are asking incorrect statements. So the obviously what will be the incorrect statements? B and E. So second option. B and D will be the incorrect statements. Next, 177 about the enzyme they asked. YC, C to C bond is there and gives rise to XY plus C double bond C. That means functional group is separated without breaking the bond. So lyases enzyme. So option C is the answer. Next, 178. Ecological pyramids represent the relationship between the organisms at different trophic levels, and they're generally inverted for what? Pyramid of biomass in the sea. That is inverted case. Okay, next. 179. They are asking about the life stages. That means evolution of life, human life, evolution of modern man. Dryopithecus, Ramapithecus, Homo habilis, Australopithecus, Homo habilis, Homo erectus, Homo neanderthalensis, Homo sapiens. I repeat, Dryopithecus, Ramapithecus, and Australopithecus, Homo habilis, Homo erectus, Homo neanderthals, Homo sapiens. So that is a sequence. So as per that, first option is the right answer. Next, last question. Uh, Expiratory reserve volume and RV, residual volume, IRV, inspiratory reserve volume, tidal volume, direct values they asked. Very simple question. So tidal volume is 500 ml. So C is 2. C2 sorry, D2, tidal volume, 500 ml, that means D2. So D2 means only one option, and A3, expiratory reserve volume 1000 to 1100, inspiratory reserve volume 2500 to 3000 ml. That means second option is the right answer. So my final analysis is sexual reproduction flowering plants 4 MCQs, genetics 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 MCQs, molecular basis 4 MCQs, evolution 4 MCQs, biotechnology principles 5 MCQs, biotechnology applications 4 MCQs, and biomolecules 5 MCQs, cell the unit of life 4 MCQs, morphology of flowering plants 4 MCQs, animal kingdom 4 MCQs, and respiration in plants and photosynthesis. Respiration plants 3 MCQs, photosynthesis 2 MCQs, cell cycle 2 MCQs, plant growth and development 3 MCQs, and biodiversity and conservation 2 MCQs, ecosystem 3 MCQs, population 2 MCQs, microbes in human welfare 2 MCQs, human health and disease 2 MCQs, reproductive health 2 MCQs, human reproduction 3 MCQs. That means they almost all maintain equal ratio, but the genetics, principles of inheritance and variation part 7 MCQs, molecular basis 4 MCQs, and evolution 4 MCQs. So 7 plus 4, 11 plus 4, 15 MCQs only from the genetics, molecular basis, and evolution, 15 MCQs, and biotechnology and principles and applications, 9 MCQs. So 15 plus 9, genetics and biotechnology only 24 MCQs they asked. Genetics and biotechnology, total 5 chapters. Principles of inheritance, molecular basis, evolution, biotechnology principles and applications. Total 5 chapters. They asked 24 MCQs. Next, animal kingdom 4, morphology 4, and biomolecules 5, cell the unit of life 4 MCQs, and plant growth and development 3, respiration 3, and photosynthesis only 2. So this is the weightage, and the overall question paper is very, very easy. Even I attempted, I am getting 355. Only one question I made mistake, that is Sonalesi question. So let's see. Okay. Stay tuned to my channel. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, RJ's NEET Biology. Please share it to the NEET aspirants. Thank you very much.